Welcome back to Factorio Centurion, episode 9, and the final episode that I will be recording after the fact, after finding out in that list of 3 episodes that I had not recorded any audio. So let's see what we're up to now. I think we're finally completing these assemblers for lamps, electric lights. So we're splitting metal over here. When I say metal, iron plate. Just got to make sure it looks pretty and symmetrical. That's fine. And we'll just put a underground belt across here. And so that's half a line of iron plate. And then another half line of electronic circuits. So once again, run out of transport belt. And that's going slowly because there's no iron being fed to it. And I suspect that's because we're not using a priority splitter for that bottom splitter. And all of the iron is being pushed up to that top lane for our gear production. So we're getting enough gears on the hybrid line, but not enough iron. So now we'll make another priority splitter to make sure we get enough iron fed onto the hybrid line. And that lapping sound in the background, if you can hear it, is my cat drinking out of my fish tank. Now don't worry, no fish will be harmed. Now again, I apologize for the lack of proper audio and game sounds in these clips. And it's a lesson learned in being much more diligent with my recording software in the future. And I have checked the other files, and they're all fine at this point. So we'll have the fixed audio with no fan sounds in episode 13. And then I will only be recording the episodes, for the most part, 3 at a time, unless for any reason I would need to do more. So now we prioritized iron to add to the hybrid line. Now I think I was considering swapping the sides of the line and then quickly changed my mind, if I remember correctly, as that would interfere with some of the setups I already have. So the cat is making a nuisance of herself, but she doesn't know any better. And we now have the hybrid line, once again, working at full capacity. Which means we'll be able to get transport belt which means we'll be able to finally finish the important task of automating electric lights. So now what we're doing is setting up an array for upgraded belts, for fast transport belts. And we need gears in each of these, plus the previous tier of the same type. And from this point on, I'm going to be using fast transport belt and leaving the regular transport belt for my green science packs. Now, I may not be able to afford it yet, but I think I'm going to do it anyway because I prefer to try and get things updated once I'm able to do so. So we're just trying to figure out here how we're going to move. So we're going to make production of transport belts just for science here, so that we're not taking them from fast transport belt production. And just figuring out how to get that onto the correct side of the belt. And there we go. So luckily there was already a hybrid line ready there. And we can let the machines on this side prioritize fast transport belt production. So they don't actually need iron plate, but at this point it's easier just to continue the hybrid line up this way. So we'll place some long-handed inserters for output. And we don't really need anything more than wooden chests at the moment, as I'm sure I will be limiting them. So those splitters and underground belts will not be made until the chest of fast transport belt is filled. So I do set the restrictions on those soon. I'm hoping sooner rather than later. But again, as I said, hindsight 2020. So steel production looks like it's more or less working. There's not enough iron plate to be reaching the back machines, but that's okay. So what we'll do is create another row of smelting in our smelting column to maximize throughput of iron. And once again, we've run out of transport belt, which is how we got here in the first place. So I'm not sure what I'm checking here. I think because I've disconnected the line. And my thinking here was that I would move the steel line up and make this another iron line. But then I thought it doesn't really matter whether I do that or not, as the steel shuts down. So we've got 21 fast transport belts. I can can start using them. And it doesn't really matter if they get mixed at this point, because I am using the upgrade planner mod, which is like a blueprint that you can drag over entities to replace them with entities that you choose. For instance, you can input transport belt, upgrade to fast transport belt. So whenever you drag over transport belt, if you have enough fast transport belt in your hand, then it will upgrade it automatically. And that saves a lot of headaches when you like to upgrade everything like I do. So we'll put some steel chests down here and start some steel buffer storage. Now you just have to place that the wrong way and then turn it around because of the side of the belt. I've seen on a Roomba's channel that he's installed a mod where it auto fixes that bug. So I should look into that as well. So now that we finally have steel all the way connected down to there, we've disconnected it from the smelting area. And I figured out at this point that we can actually increase the length of this row of smelting up to 12 smelters per side, which is what I originally had intended to do, and must have got distracted along the way. So at this point, a yellow belt can support 24, well, a yellow belt per side, hybridized yellow belt that is, can support 12 furnaces per side. So we're researching advanced material processing so that we can get some steel furnaces. Which will increase the speed at which we can produce iron and henceforth steel. So it looks like I've connected all of that back up. And things are rolling again. Now it's going to take them a while to sort of catch up with themselves. But we've now got more transport belt. And we can continue our projects. So what am I trying to figure out here? I think I'm still confused by the circuits at this point. But in hindsight, it does look like it's working. It's pushing everything up to the top. And making sure the belts are as saturated as possible. Where they can be. But the problem is there isn't enough iron getting pushed into it from the beginning. And we're finally back to these lamps. Will we ever finish the lamps? We have 100 episodes to automate electric lights. Can we do it? Just split these off here. Prioritize. Soon, hopefully, we'll have robots so we can blueprint these and not have to do this every time. So then afterwards, we can push all of the circuits back up to the top lane of our 2 lanes. It's much simpler than the 4-lane setup, obviously. So we'll just need to do it once before as well. And here is where I go a bit crazy with the priority splitters and start to try and make them all work. So we'll be sending them up here first. And then only if that is fully saturated will they be allowed to get through. Well, at least while we're faffing about doing this, we're building up a little stock of fast transport belt, which we can use to send green circuits up to the electronic light assembling area. Oh, which we've done. I must have missed it. Now all we need is output. Here it goes. We did it. Happy day. No longer will we have to pocket craft lights like cavemen. A very apt autosave. I think we'll just put this into one chest. And limit it to 2 spaces. How are we going to fill up 91 more episodes after that? I'm sure we'll find something to do. Find another project as I wander aimlessly back to the smelting area. Guess we can work towards rockets, if we must. It's the cat throwing things off my desk. It's weird, before I started recording, she was nowhere to be found. I'm sure you cat owners out there understand. So in the next video, we'll finish this smelting area. It's good. We got advanced material processing done. It's very fortuitous. And we'll grab some lab research speed. Though really what we should do is grab some more labs. See if we can get that figured out in episode 13. I've been Glosado. Thanks for watching.